From the remnants of Johna City comes a broadcast that will shake the Empire to its core. Rogue One Radio will discuss all things Star Wars and all things in the nerd culture, in and out of the galaxy far, far away.
Like a panther. How's it going, folks? This is Rogue One Radio. We are at episode number 74. We got a special show for you tonight. Starting off, just want to introduce everybody in the chat room. We got Dragon Buddy, and we've got RFB. Always good to see you, folks. And hey, DJ, look, you're in the chat.
Imagine that.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So, Nicole will be dropping in a few minutes, hopefully. But I would like to introduce our special guest today. It is Johna, otherwise known as Blue Jageyes. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, J-Guys, yeah.
J-Guys, okay. And we are going to be talking about Rebels Remembered, which is a creation of yours. So we'll be talking about that. We do have some news to go over, and we do have a tune. Yes, DJ, I finally picked one.
All right.
But hey, look, and there she is, Nicole. Hey.
I'm here.
All right.
Let's do this. Hi.
All right. So we just got in. So we just now brought her in. Oh, you've been watching. Okay.
Well, no, it popped up and I was just like transitioning and I was like, oh, wait. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm supposed to be on that. Oh, yeah.
No. I get ready first. So thanks.
Looks like we got a newcomer, Blake Hollowell. Is he?
Blake. Yes, from Dork Wars.
Oh, great. Awesome. Good to see you, Blake. Welcome to the chat. All right. Well, what's everybody been up to this week? Johna, how about you? What have you been doing this week?
I have been watching TV. Just catching up on my shows. You know, I have a running list of things that I want to make sure I check off. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. I'm in between jobs at the moment. Okay. So just trying to kill time.
What have you been watching?
Oh, well, I recently started watching 1883 on Paramount Plus, and that's a prequel to the Yellowstone series on Paramount Network. And so I actually started with 1883 and jumped into Yellowstone. So it's been a wild ride. Wow. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. And of course, the usual stuff like, Star Wars Rebels, for example. Every once in a while, I'll pop in a new episode just to rewatch.
Awesome. Hey, DJ RFB wants to know when you got promoted to Grand Admiral.
It's actually a long story, but I'll try to make it short. See, now that Supreme Chancellor Bub is Supreme Chancellor, I, a loyal and faithful subject to Supreme Chancellor Bub, have been promoted to Grand Admiral. So
this is breaking news.
I'm kind of jealous now. I didn't get a promotion.
What would you like to? You know what? What would you like to be? I'll make sure. I'll put in a good word with you with the Supreme Chancellor.
I'll have a chat with Mr. Bub.
After
we got him that T-bird and everything. Jeez.
Well, that's all right.
What have you been up to, Nicole?
Well, I think, like Johna, I've been wanting to actually watch the shows that she's mentioned. I just haven't had time. I've been so busy watching other stuff, but it looks great. When I first saw it, I was like, oh man, that looks good. Looks like a really good modern Western, you know. But it's like, do I want Paramount? Do I really want to pay for another thing?
Yeah, exactly. But I got that for Star Trek reasons and jumped into other shows.
So, rewatching Rebels, watch the SAG Awards, oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called at the moment. It's on Food Network channel, but it's a new season with Guy Fieri, not Drivers and Dives. It's another one, Tournament something, but it had a bunch of the alumni from Top Chef and a lot of other professional chefs, and I was just like, oh my gosh. It was amazing. I love so many fandoms, including the food. So, awesome. You know, I mean, you guys have seen me. I bake cheesecakes and all this crazy stuff. I like my food. So,
yep.
You know, as long as I make sure I give you guys some.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for some cookies and milkshakes, but you know.
Really.
Y'all get in here and get in town for ScarabCon. You got it.
Alan's in the chat.
Who's in?
Alan. Alan.
Hey, Alan. Oh, Alan.
Patrick's with us.
Hey, Patrick.
So Johnny, you mentioned Paramount and Star Trek. Did you watch Picard?
I did watch season 1, and I'm super excited for season 2 on Thursday.
So. That was a good show.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, DJ?
Work. Work.
Fair enough.
I work from home.
Sometimes wish that I did. Hey, I didn't have to go to the field this week, so that's great. No long trips and no pipelines and no scenery. So that's a good thing. I'm still on my Harry Potter read through. I am about the middle of book 3 now. As far as watching, I'm getting to that, Blake. Yes. Watching finished the last season of Psych, which was a great show. So one of those guilty pleasure shows. Not a lot of people liked it, but I thought it was very amusing. So I watched that. Then I watched the last season of Big Bang Theory. So I'm all caught up on that. And then last but definitely not least, last night I had the extra privilege of co-hosting on Dork Wars last night. And we got to discuss one of our favorite topics, Spaceballs.
That's familiar.
Yeah. We went in a completely different direction than what we did, so it was awesome. Got to cover some different bases, and had a great time talking with Blake and Wes over on Dork Wars, and we're planning on something special here in the near future. So, so I'm excited. It's been a good week and ready to talk about some Rebels Remembered. Rebels is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Very cool. Very cool. So, I'm still in the middle of my read of Thrawn Alliances.
Everything, yes.
But as you know, I am like extremely easily distracted by other things. So,
Squirrel.
So yeah, exactly. So my week has been filled with either playing Cyberpunk or watching what have I been watching this week? The Walking Dead. So here's the story of that. I stopped watching that show at the end of season 5. No particular reason. I just stopped watching it because I was easily distracted by other things and never got back to it. And hey, look at that. Where was I at? So I just stopped watching it, and then it got so far along, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to catch up. And but for some reason, and for no reason that I can think of, I decided to just start picking it back up. So my first thought was, should I start from the beginning? And then I saw how many seasons there actually are right now, and I'm like, nope, not starting from the beginning. Nope. So I just started where I left off with the first episode of season 6. And now I am in season 9. So I did quite the binge over the weekend.
Impressive.
So I'm not quite to the middle of season 9. But I am past the where Rick leaves. And it's a little weird with him not being on that show. I mean, I'd seen the spoilers. I knew he was leaving, but it's still kind of like, I was like, oh, so he's not coming back. That's just
yeah, I didn't realize I had gotten that far because I also dropped that show. Wasn't for distraction reasons. I was just tired of it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize I had gotten to that point.
Yeah, they're on. I think they're like on season 11 now, or maybe 10, either 10 or 11.
Is the dude with the bat still around?
He's still alive, but in the where I'm at right now, he's still in jail. They put him in a jail cell in Alexandria.
Has anyone read the graphic novel?
No, I've never even seen the show.
I much better than the TV show.
Well, yeah, I had read the comic prior to the show coming out. But I actually didn't start watching. I didn't start watching the show when it first came out. I heard about it and I was like, oh, they're doing a Walking Dead TV show. Interesting. But so I actually didn't start watching it until like season 3. Like, I think it was at the midway point of season 3. So my wife and I got caught up to that point and then started watching it live. Or, you know what I mean? Like, just as it was coming out. We got one new addition to the chat room. Vader's Girl is with us.
Awesome.
Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you I kind of remember where I left off with that show. Sort of, kind of, somebody lived in a group of women lived in a trash dump or scrapyard or something. Yeah. And I kind of sort of remember something about that, and that's about it. So, I had no idea. I quickly lost interest in the show, especially after reading I don't read a whole lot of comics, but after reading that series and then seeing the directions that they were taking, it just really, I don't know. I just couldn't get it.
Weird.
So
I
see what you did.
I knew beforehand. I knew beforehand that Glenn had died because he died in the comic book. But I also knew that it was coming up in the show. But man, that was brutal.
Yeah. To say the least.
Yeah. Like, I was like, the first episode where Negan shows up, I'm like, I wonder if this is going to be the episode where oh, yep, there it is. Holy crap.
Well, I'm thankful for that show because it ended up giving us the Punisher.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That is right. Shane.
Because, yes, Shane became the Punisher. And he wasn't even considered for the role until they saw him do the Walking Dead. And they're like, you know what? He has what it takes to pull this off.
Yeah.
And so they hired him for the Punisher. So very, very glad for the Walking Dead. If nonetheless, it just got us the Punisher. So
we'll keep that idea of Punisher in the back of your head because we may be chatting about that here in a minute.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So,
yeah, I've been busy all day. I haven't read show notes or nothing. So
I haven't read them either. No. Okay, so let us start with our housekeeping. We are part of the Red 5 Network. Great network of podcasts. Anything that you want to listen to, they have a show for you. There are Star Wars podcasts. There are movie podcasts. There are just general pop culture podcasts. And there's even a wrestling podcast, if that's your thing.
Woo-hoo!
So there's lots of stuff. So check them out. You can go to red5network.com. There's also a link you can go to find all the shows. That link is, I'll put it in the show notes. I can't remember what it is. It's like bio
links, Red 5.
I'll put it in the show notes. So you can find all the cool podcasts that are part of that network. So if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you punch that like button. And most importantly, please subscribe. We are so close to our goal. I think we are 8 away. We only need 8 more subscribers, and we will hit our goal of 100.
You can do
it.
Really, really want to hit that one so that we can, well, I've got ulterior motives for that, but it all has to do with naming and branding and stuff like that.
Ulterior Motives is a good band. Just saying.
That's right. Also, we are on the social medias. Nicole, you want to tell them where they can find us?
Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook at Rogue One Radio, as well as on Twitter and Instagram. Again, Rogue One Radio. Make sure you also hit that like and subscribe buttons on those channels too. Let's not forget that we all additionally have our own pages. Mine, I'm at Peace Love Star Wars. Steve, Otter, right? And DJ
Otter 272.
There you go. Hey, Johanna, where can we find you?
Yeah. So you can find me with the handle at Blue Jay Guys.
Awesome. Sounds good. Shall I say back to you? I think so. That works.
Sure, why not? Let's see. Okay, so we do have a Patreon.
Yes, we have awesome Patreons. I love them.
And we have 3. We're still working on getting more, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So you can find us. You just go to Patreon and look up Rogue One Radio, and you'll find us on there. We've got a $1 tier, and other than that, I think we've got a 5 and a 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know we've got a 1 and a 5 because those are the only ones that we've got subscriptions for. So our patrons, very much appreciated. Dave Brown, Don from the Escape Pod, thank you very much. And also Kelly and Dragon Buddy are our third. So thank you very much for supporting us, and spread the word. Get out there and get us some money.
That actually reminds me. I got a notification that Patreon is like, we can't reach your bank for your payment. So,
oh wow.
Well, I switched bank accounts with a new job.
Oh yeah.
I thought I got everything switched over, but occasionally now I'm getting notices. Hey, your payment didn't go through, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me fix that, or I can say, yeah, I really didn't want your service anyway. So it gets to clean it up a lot, and things that you forgot about that you had, from months ago, like a free trial that ended and you had no idea, and it's charging you, $30 a month now, and for the last 8 months, and yeah, now you don't have to worry about those. So,
but those donations will come in very handy for when we start doing more stickers and buttons and t-shirts and keychains and whatever you have. Maybe koozies. What's that?
Flamethrowers.
Rogue One Radio, the flamethrower. Yeah, get that out there. And then eventually maybe we can afford a Roadcaster.
Yeah, there we go.
So I don't have to play all the music through Bandcamp. That'd be great. Anyway, I very much appreciate everybody who is donating, and like I said, get the word out there. What is next? What do we got?
I think it might be the news.
I think it might be too. Oh, you know what? I was gonna. DJ said something, and I almost lost it. So let me get it out there before I forget it, because short attention span. Yes, Dragon Buddy. That is branding, and it's coming your way as soon as we get more patrons. No, you were talking about banks, and I was like, man, am I going to have to change banks when we move?
Yes.
Man,
maybe.
I guess it depends, right?
I was thinking,
if it's a national bank, then you don't have to.
It's a local credit union, and I'm like, okay, well,
you're screwed.
Man, I know they don't have a branch up there.
On your next visit.
But how often do I actually go into the bank though? It's very rare.
But you might need it for cards.
For what?
For like your checking and debit cards, credit cards.
Updating your address and such.
That's true. I was going to say, I don't carry checks, so that's not going to be a thing.
Oh, but your debit card.
Debit card, I'm going to need. Man, that sucks. I don't want to change banks. Wow.
Such is the way of life.
Really, first world problems, huh?
Right.
Wow.
You guys have banks? I just got a mattress I stick all my cash in,
That's coming up here in the next couple of months. That relocation is creeping up on us.
Just in time for Scarifcon, July 23rd.
For Scarifcon, yeah, July 23rd.
Mark your calendar.
Yes.
All right, yeah. News.
Okay, let's get on to the news. Okay. News. Squirrel. Okay. All right. First piece of news that I've got is we got a little award show that happened recently, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And I think, Nicole, you said were you watching that?
I did, but I only watched it because I was supporting one main movie, and then one main person. Well, congratulations to everybody else, but I was very on it.
So here's a list of some of the main ones and the winners. Outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. I guess is that like basically the same thing as Best Picture? I don't know.
Yeah.
So the winner of that one was Coda.
Yes. Oh, not excited.
Not excited at all, are you?
Okay, because we have to talk about this. This is important. Can I'm stealing your thunder. Sorry.
No.
So my main dream for was Coda. Last week we just talked about disability representation in Hollywood, which is still very low, even with Coda. Okay, that's under 20%. Okay, and Coda's huge because also it has Troy Kurtzer, who also won. He made history. This was history on Sunday night, because this actually is the first time for a male with a deaf. Looks like a Steve. What? Don't squirrel me. Anyways.
What were we talking about?
Anyways, so Troy Kurtzer, for those who don't know, in the Star Wars community, is he was one of the main Tusken Raiders in Mandalorian. He is the person who, even up through Boba Fett, has been credited for creating the sign language for the Tusken Raiders. He plays a big part for both in Star Wars and in the disability and the deaf community. So I think this was like really big. Of course, I'm rooting them for another award show. I am not currently naming, and neither will you, because I am not jinxing this. And Shanti, if you're as you listen to this, don't jinx it, girl. We told her, don't jinx it. So this was huge, and I'm excited for them, because this was a lot. This meant a lot, and I don't think it's getting talked about enough, because it just doesn't get talked enough. So.
Yeah. Am I a bad person for not watching award shows?
You know what? No, you're not. You had me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, you won't believe who just won. You're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
good,
You're
'cause
right.
I
I
don't
normally
care.
don't either. The last few years I've been just keeping up on social media because they kind of drive me nuts these days. But this particular one, I did. So.
Okay, I wanted to be part of the fun, so I changed my name too.
Yay!
Okay, where are we at? We just did picture.
Award.
Right. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role was Will Smith for King Richard.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one.
That's based off a true story for.
Oh, that's the tennis dude dad person.
Yeah.
Thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah. At first, I thought it was like a Shakespeare thing, and I'm like, I don't remember Will Smith doing Shakespeare, but like, oh,
well, you know, there was an actor nominated for a Shakespeare. I'm assuming, based on the title, Denzel Washington was nominated for the tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah, but didn't he like direct that or something?
I don't know.
Me either. It's just
like
what I heard. The people in the office were talking about it, and I'm like, kind of half paying attention.
Yeah, all of the movies that I'm showing here, I haven't watched any of them.
And I do recommend Coda because that was really good.
I really need to check that one out. I really want to check out Belfast, and I meant to go see that in the theater and never got around to it.
There's only one award show that means
the Parsec Awards.
That is the Parsec Awards.
There you go.
Yes.
What do we got? Outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role was Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Okay, I haven't watched that one either. To be frankly honest, I don't know who Jessica Chastain is either.
She played the secretary in Daredevil.
And she also won the same award for the movie. She also looks like identical to Bryce Dallas Howard. They are like
a little bit, yeah.
She started off in True Blood.
Yeah.
Cool. Supporting actor was Troy from Coda.
Yep.
Troy Kurtzer. And then female supporting was Ariana DeBose for West Side Story.
Yep.
Let's see what we got for television awards. I forgot they did that too. Outstanding performance by an ensemble. Why can't you just say cast? In a drama series. Succession? I have no idea what that is. Anybody heard that?
I think it's on Paramount Plus, just because I see it advertised, but I don't remember correctly.
Okay. Outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series was Ted Lasso. I've heard of that one, mostly because one of the guys from Escape Pod is always talking about it.
Amazing show. Amazing show.
Cool. I don't have Apple TV and don't plan on getting it.
I still have another month and a half left of my free trial.
I'm going to wait until I know that there's a show coming sometime this year, maybe, that's going to be on Apple, and I'm going to save my free trial for then. I don't remember what show it is though. Before I forget, Backyard TARDIS is in the chat with us.
Hey.
Good to see you again. Back to the SAG Awards. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a television, movie, or miniseries was Michael Keaton for Dope Sick.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that was an emotional part of the award show. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And then outstanding performance by a female actor in a television, movie, or miniseries was Kate Winslet for Mayor of Easttown.
I thought maybe she was still riding the Titanic wave.
Sheesh.
What?
That was the 90s, and she's done a lot more since then.
No, I'm sorry. I'm out of touch. Go figure.
Such a liar.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah,
okay, that's it for the SAG Awards. I'm done there.
All right. What else we got?
Okay, what else do we have? Let's see. Where are my notes? Okay. So we've got an update from something that we talked about last week, was it? We were talking about Futurama. Or was it the week prior? I don't know. We were talking about Futurama's coming back. And the update is John DiMaggio will be returning as the voice of Bender.
Cool, yeah.
So that's cool. Next, Beetlejuice 2 will enter early development. Now, the article came from CBR, and according to the article, it was confirmed by Deadline. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. But it is in early development by Brad Pitt's production company. But here's the thing. It seems like this is almost a non-player, just because, number one, they don't know if Burton is going to be the director, and they don't know if Michael Keaton or Winona Ryder will be involved. So my question is, if they're not going to be involved, why bother?
I would say they should leave it just as a cult classic at this point.
I mean, if those two aren't involved, I pretty much would have no desire to watch it.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
even if they are involved by this point in time, I really just let it go.
Just let it go.
Kind of like what we talked about, and we even talked about this last night on Dork Wars, was if they were to make a Spaceballs 2, I think too much time has passed. I just don't think that it would work. That's one. It was a great movie. It was catchy. Let's let it lie with that rather than beating the proverbial horse there. So,
what do you think, Johna? You think they should do a sequel?
That's a difficult one, because I remember watching it just this past Halloween, and I thought it should just stay that way. I mean, if they intend to remake it or have a whole new spin on it, sure. I mean, that's the trend now, and I'm sure someone can bring something imaginative to it. But yeah, sequel, I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off. But I've been surprised before in other.
I mean, if they're going to do a sequel without Keaton and Ryder, it might as well be a reboot. And if they're going to do a reboot, they might as well just leave it alone. just don't even bother. All right, what's next on my list? Okay, so we were talking about a certain character a few minutes ago.
Bender?
The Punisher.
So...
Sorry, it's been a few minutes.
Yeah, which character? We talked about like 17.
Yeah. Okay. Specifically the Punisher.
Okay, yes, the Punisher. Yeah. Yes.
So Disney did announce today that the shows Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders, and Jessica Jones will be on Disney Plus as of March 16th. So, what's the point in having Netflix now?
I canceled Netflix.
Stranger Things, and for me, Bridget.
Okay. I won't get rid of Netflix until I'm done getting caught up with Walking Dead. Never mind.
There are other ways to watch things. Just saying.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
But is that really worth $20 a month? I don't know.
There's other ways to watch things without having to pay for Netflix.
I still cannot believe
that. But it's not legal.
It's a gray area.
Oh, that's right. You're not. Okay. You're a Sith. Never mind.
This is true. So, he's Grand Admiral.
That's right. So we're gonna get our favorite Netflix Marvel shows on Disney Plus. But wait, there's more.
Well, wait.
There's more. Also, in mid-March, Disney Plus will begin airing Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I liked the show. I mean, it got Like toward the end, it got kind of ridiculous and not really worth watching. But I liked the first few seasons; they were good.
So what I'm hoping for is that the Disney Plus will be able to set up a watch list, which I think is something that they talked about that they haven't implemented yet. So you can set your watch list and you can press play and it'll play through your watch list. So you can set up the Agents of Shield's episodes that actually matter and are worth something to really watch everything in chronological order the way that it works out. So yeah, I thought that would be fun to do if they implement that, but I would only do that once just because it's going to be heck to get everything all lined up the way that you want it to.
So speaking of shows that were only worth watching for a couple of seasons, do you guys remember the show Heroes?
Yes.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, now that was a really good show for the first couple of seasons, and then it just really went downhill.
Yes, but why?
I don't know.
Because they needed a hero.
No, it was the writer's strike.
Oh, that's right.
They got halfway through season 3, and then they halted production because of the writer's strike. And when everything ironed out and it came back, a lot of the writers that were there were no longer there. So it was a whole group of writers that wrote half the third season, which is why they broke it up into 2 parts for that third season. And the second half just really didn't make sense. And after that, it lost its steam. And yeah. But I love the show. I have the first 2 I have all 3 seasons on DVD. So
I have all of them, but that last season just stunk.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was great. I loved Zachary Quinto in that.
Yeah, that was a great show. Yeah, that was random because I wasn't putting anything to do with news. It just made me think of it.
We're getting to it, RFB. Hold your horses.
Well, just hold your, what he said. Hold your horses. We're getting there. If you've watched the show before, you know we get off on tangents.
I go personally down bunny holes. Y'all know that.
It could be an hour before we get to the main topic. Probably not, but okay. I do have some Star Wars news.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars news. All right. The Mandalorian is getting a comic book adaptation. And that will be coming this summer. I believe they are, of course, it's not going to be like, I don't think it's going to be like original stories. I think they're actually just adapting the first season.
Which is a shame because they should do original stories. Nothing grand, just things to fill in the space that, that's in the first season and the second season. Things that might answer. Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No, I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Oh, you agree? Okay.
No, I completely agree. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see even just a comic book adaptation of pre-season 1.
Yeah. Something with his childhood or his time with the Mandalorians, like right after he got saved.
Who wouldn't want to read that? That'd be great.
I would actually buy it.
I would love that. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get that. It says the summer. Who knows what that means? But despite the fact that it's not original stories, which is kind of disappointing, I'm sure I'll end up reading it, paying my money for it
eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so next Star Wars news. There is some sort of super secret Star Wars TV series in the works. And it was announced by... Now, I got the article from discussingfilm.net. And what they have announced is that John Watts is going to be involved in a directorial role. So, of course, John Watts was the director of Spider-Man No Way Home. He also he's got some other projects ahead of him. He's doing the Fantastic Four reboot for the MCU. He's got a couple other things going on. Got some stuff with Apple TV and some stuff with HBO Max. But he's going to be taking a directorial role on this super secret project, and I don't know. Now, see, the article is very vague. They don't say if it's a project that we already know about, and they're just not telling us which one he's going to be involved with, or
the official people,
or if this is going to be like really some new project that they have not told us about. So
wait and see.
But in any case, I mean, he directed No Way Home, so I can only imagine that he's going to get some. It's going to be an interesting show, whatever it is, if he gets involved directing. All right. And that is it for news. Have you heard any other news going on? No? Cool. All right. All right, RB, we're almost there.
We're getting there, RFB. We're getting there.
We've got one break to take, and then we'll jump into the main topic. We've got the music break of the night, and let's hope it works.
Oh, wait. Music.
Yes, this is always the time when we have our technical difficulties, except on Halloween. That was completely outside the purview of music. That was just a horrible technical. Okay, so the band that I'm going to be playing, they are from Worcester, United Kingdom. They are called Fights and Fires. So a little background. They have a new EP that just came out on the 18th of February called Future Plans and the Things That Ruin Them, which is a great album title. But I am not going to be playing a song from that EP. I'm actually going to be playing a song from an earlier EP because the title of the song is just so freaking amazing and hilarious that I decided to play it. Maybe some other show will play something new from their new EP. But this is, Fights and Fires. And the name of the song is I Want Napalm Death Played at My Funeral. Let's see if I can get this.
Oh, yay! And you called yourself a Sith.
Pieces when I get up behind. Morbid conversations always start like this. One napalm death played at my funeral. Everyone can sing along. You suffer but why? You suffer but this is what we always wanted. Take me by the hand till we departed. I'm counting the days, am I wasting my time? My heart is racing towards the finish line. Hopeful conversations always start like this. Had a dream about me and you, girl. Sandy beach, no one around. You couldn't even hear a sound. gotta make your own world. Never get work. You gotta find your own place. Scratching through the dirt. You gotta make your own world. Never get work. You gotta find your own place. Scratching through the dirt. This is what we always wanted. Take me by the hand till we departed. This is what we always wanted. Take me by the hand till we departed.
All right, that was Fights and Fires with I Want Napalm Death, played at my funeral. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. All right, on to the main event.
Woo!
We are going to be talking about Rebels Remembered. And Johna, why don't you tell us how this all started?
Sure. So back in 2018, that's when the 4th season of Star Wars Rebels ended. And it ended on March 5th. Like, they gave us that grand finale. And I don't know about you guys, but I was in tears. It was sad to see this, this chapter of this show ending. And so, a year later, it was around February, early February, I would say, that I was thinking about, man, it's going to be a year since that show ended. And I feel like it's not part of the conversation anymore. It's natural that we just move on to the next thing and we kind of forget what was there before. But I was talking to my best friend about it, and I said, I should, come up with something and try to get the community to participate. And so I asked her, I remember asking her, do you think hashtag Rebels Remembered is a good hashtag? Because, you try to get something going, but you don't know whether it's going to pick up steam or anything. So, she was like, yeah, that's great. And at the time, there was only like one post, and it wasn't even related to Star Wars. So I thought, yeah, let me go ahead and make this happen. So I started making the graphics for it. I tweeted it out, and I said, let's celebrate Star Wars Rebels on this particular day. It's not the day that it was launched. Like, I think the series started back in October 2014. And I just wanted to celebrate that particular day and the effect it had on us. And so I sent out the tweet, and it got initially like over 700 retweets or likes. I forget how much it was at the time. And I was just so surprised because people were still, feeling the love for the show. And I was happy that people started sharing that tweet and spreading the word. And now it's become a thing now where people just use the hashtag on a regular basis and not on this particular day. So I really appreciate that the community made it happen, because it could have just easily gotten only 15 likes and it might have just, might have not picked up from there, but it got so much attention and it's become an annual thing.
That's awesome that something that you created that caught fire like that. And especially when it's something that's near and dear to you and it is positive. Sometimes Twitter's not the safest or greatest place for good-natured things. And so that is awesome that it was so well received and it really caught fire. Was it like an instantaneous type thing that all of a sudden it just really took off, or was it like a more of a gradual picking up steam? And how did that play out?
It definitely took a few weeks for the word to spread, and I think it wasn't until a few podcasts started picking it up and sharing it with their communities and their audiences that it started to get more attention. And when that day finally arrived, I didn't realize that so many other people who like to create art, because I like to make crafts and such. And so I didn't realize so many fan artists had, gotten the word on it, and they created just new fan art, and that also spread to their followers. And it was just, yeah, like you said, it caught fire. And I just really appreciated everyone's input on that particular day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
even Dave Filoni participated.
See, that is
there
awesome.
You go. Yeah,
yeah, that was a shocker.
yeah, that's right. Day done. Yeah,
yeah.
Dave caught it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's Dave Filoni's stamp on it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Johna has won Twitter.
Do you guys remember that sketch that he put out of Ahsoka and Sabine walking up a snowy mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that he published on that day. And he also published it with a note saying, thanks to the fans for remembering Rebels on this day. And it was very, very thoughtful.
Awesome.
And I did not think it was going to happen, but it did.
Well, now that makes sense. Wow. Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what is it about Rebels that really got you so enthused about the show and so involved with it that you, even once it was over, that you wanted to keep the memory going?
Yeah. So when Rebels was first announced, this was really soon after the Clone Wars had been winding down, and it was just their way of saying that sadly it's going to not continue. This is where the story ends for Clone Wars. So a lot of people were upset because the Clone Wars was a big thing to them. Ahsoka's journey was big to them, and so to see that come to an end and then introduce something new, it kind of just, some people don't trust it. Some people thought this is just a kid's show and whatnot. So the moment it was announced, I thought, I'm going to support this show. I think this show deserves more love than what the community is giving it at that moment. And so, I just remember, and that was roughly around the same time I had launched my own blog, which is currently not online at the moment. But that's when I started ramping up in my blogging and podcasting. And so it just happened to be one of those things where the puzzle pieces fell into the right place. And so, I just wanted to show my love for that series and just highlight the things that I enjoyed about it rather than focusing on the things that people weren't liking about it. And it's good to be critical, but at the same time, there was just too much of the negative side of being too loud at the time. But I wanted to shine a light on the stuff that I enjoyed about the series the most. That's awesome.
So, did you start watching that show from the very beginning?
I did, yeah.
Very
yeah,
cool.
I even thankfully so grateful that I was invited to an event that happened, like a media event that happened prior to the series' launch. And so I got to see the first episode plus Rise of the Old Masters, where the Grand Inquisitor was introduced. And that was like a part of a media event. And that was just, it was my first Lucasfilm event, and I'm so thankful that I got to be part of it because Rebels just became a huge part of my life from that point forward.
That's awesome.
That is cool. I actually didn't start watching it until it was like 2 episodes in. I hadn't even heard of it. And then a friend of mine at work told me, hey, have you seen this new, he knew I like Star Wars. He's like, have you seen this new show? I'm like, no, I haven't. Didn't even know it was out. So I was about 2 shows behind. But then, when I first Sean, I was like, that is the greatest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah, it definitely pulls in some of those A New Hope original trilogy vibes, which is another thing that I appreciated about it.
Yeah, it was really good. And then I loved all the callbacks to Clone Wars. Some of the characters like Hondo. He pops up, loved it. Of course, Ahsoka, obviously. I loved when Saw Gerrera showed up.
That's right.
That was awesome. That show was just amazing. It was so
Captain
great.
Rex.
Captain Rex, yeah. I gotta say I wouldn't say it was my favorite thing about the show, but like one of the things that I just thought was like so amazing is when the first appearance of Thrawn.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my God, they're gonna
with that organ. Yeah, the organ playing in the background. Yeah, it's very creepy.
That was so awesome.
You could see by DJ's face that he's just so proud of that character.
Well, that's a long. Thrawn and I have history, and
more than you thought.
Are you Ezra?
Well, Thrawn was Thrawn before Rebels even came out.
Yeah,
and when I was first introduced in the Timothy Zahn books back in, now they're EU books, but I love the character, and he reminded me so much of the Emperor, just cool as the underside of a pillow. Just it was so calm, cool, collected, knew what he was going to do at all times. And I was like, all right, well, we don't have any more Emperor, so here's this character. This is going to be my new favorite character. And he was just so complex. And yeah, so in Rebels, I didn't even watch it. I didn't know it was out there. I couldn't even get through all the Clone Wars, and then it was gone off of like Netflix or whatever. And so I couldn't even watch all of the seasons of those. And I'm like, well, I mean, everyone keeps talking about their show. So I figured out a way to watch it. And it was one of the first episodes of season 2. And I was like, holy crap, I've got to watch this show. So I found all the rest of them, and I started and I binged every episode up to the current ones. And yeah, it was one of my favorite shows by far.
And I felt like with Star Wars Rebels is that it got stronger as the seasons progressed. By 3, they really at least came into themselves. They weren't just about Clone Wars, but they were really about the Rebels and about the characters. And it just got stronger and stronger. Because that last season, it was just like, nope, keep going. Nope, keep going. Nope, keep going. Why are you asking me if I'm still here? Yes, I'm still here. Watch again. So...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and there were those characters, legendary characters like Ahsoka and Rex. They were there to serve their stories, the Ghost Cruise stories in the show. And so, yeah, I was thankful that they were brought in, but they didn't overtake the original characters' journeys.
Yeah. And I think that was key. Kudos to the writers for. Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't this whole thing sound familiar? Kind of like deja vu from recent conversations of a Boba Fett. That in this case, they were able to keep the focus on the Rebels, especially as you got through season 2, almost to 3, that all of a sudden it just started picking up steam and really honing in on those characters and just got stronger and better. And no wonder we have, Rebels Remembered Day now, because it was really good. And that last season is just so good.
So, Johna, I've got a question for you, but before I ask it, I wanted to shout out, we've got a couple more additions to the chat. Mr. Rez is with us.
Hey, Mr. Rez.
Used and Abused is with us.
Hey, Scott.
So they just finished up their live stream. They were talking about the music of Rat. kicking off their March Music Madness series. So
round, I get around.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only song I know by Rat that I remember. I know they had others, but yeah, I can't remember any others. So, speaking of characters, Jonah, this is a two-part question. Favorite characters or favorite character, one from the Ghost Crew, two non-Ghost Crew.
Oh, okay, cool. So Ghost Crew, definitely Ezra. Ezra's my boy. He's my special boy. Yeah, I adore that character. And I know a lot of people get frustrated with him. But I think he represented the average teenager. He definitely represented my average teenage years. And so it was a pleasure to see him grow up and embrace the his natural inclination towards the Force and embrace his Jedi beginnings. And so I really loved that character's journey. I even have this little stuffed toy that I bought of him years ago with his little attitude eyebrow thing there. And for non-Ghost Crew character, I think I'm gonna have to go with Callus, Agent Callus, because he had a really interesting journey. Going from that,
There's
twisting mustache, twisting mustache bad guy to actually having an arc and having depth to him. So that was a really interesting character.
Yeah, it's good. All right, you're up next, Snips.
Oh, me? Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is definitely for the Ghost Crew. It's Hera. Hera and I see myself in her as a character. Right?
I can see that too.
And I'm a caregiver, now to my grandpa, originally to my grandma, but to my daughter, to anybody. I'm like her in so many other ways, but strong where I need to be at the same sense. So I really love Hera, and I do like her arc. Some ways I don't know. My gut's beginning to turn that we might eventually see her again, but we'll see. Not saying which show, but I feel like we might see her again. And then I think it's from the name alone says it. I love Ahsoka. I loved her in Clone Wars, and to see her come back into the series. And then of course that moment when she realizes that Anakin is Darth Vader. I mean, pull my heartstrings. I was like, come on. Like I felt that, you know what I mean? Which is another reason why I also liked Hera, because where there was that moment with her in Canyon that she can't kind of, that she, you know what I mean? That moment, that feeling, those emotions, and I could feel it, but Ahsoka was just, and again, she had a nice, beautiful cameo and entered out. Of course, she was also known as Fulcrum. And then, we kind of get her a little bit later, just towards this, towards the end with the whole, in between worlds stuff, but we got a lot of people there. But it was just so awesome to see her and then exit nicely back out. So yeah, I love it. What about you, DJ?
Wow.
Wait, can I guess?
You sure, go for it.
Thrawn will probably be your non one. Or is he considered? He's not considered a ghost. So I'm going to say Thrawn for your non.
Okay.
And for the actual one, wait a minute. You're going to say Snips. You're going to say Ahsoka.
Am I?
You rebel and go Thrawn and Ahsoka and just the Ghost Crew.
All right. So here it is.
Moments, people. Okay.
So here it is, and I'll start with the non-Ghost Crew. I will definitely pick Thrawn.
I knew it.
Just because of, as I said, the history with the character, and then to see him in Rebels as a now canon character, and then the books that came after, it was glorious and such a great character. And I know that we're going to get him in live action eventually. So yeah, that would be my pick for the non-Ghost Crew. Although I do love Ahsoka, it's got a special place, but that's mainly because of Clone Wars. Although I did love her appearance in Rebels. If I was going to pick my Ghost Crew, I'm going to pick Sabine. And just because of the individuality that she shows, the spontaneousness, the art, just has an amazing personality that lets shine, and had so much depth as a character. I loved any time that she was on the screen. It was absolutely amazing. I love that they were able to have a character that was so expressive, because you don't normally see that. I mean, she was out there with her ideas, and no one was going to tell her what she could or couldn't do. She's just going to do it. By God, stand back and watch me. And and you really didn't. I mean, you got that a little bit with Leia. You couldn't tell her no either, but she was also the prim proper princess, whereas Sabine could do whatever she wanted to whenever she wanted to do it, and she had a heart of gold as well. So there's my picks.
Okay.
All right, Steve. What about you?
All right. So, well, Nicole, do you want to try to guess as well?
Well, your favorite is going to be Sabine for the Ghost Crew. For non, I think it's going to either be Hondo or it's going to end up being Thrawn too.
Okay, you're right about the Ghost,
or it could be Chopper. But go ahead. But Chopper's actually part of the Ghost Crew. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
You are right on the Ghost Crew member. Mine is the same as DJ's. I like Sabine. She's great. For all of the things that he said and more. I love that she loves to blow stuff up.
Yeah.
I love that she's so artistic, and that for nothing else, she painted a TIE fighter, and that was so awesome. She was from episode 1. I knew she was going to be a special character. She was great, and she was great all up until the end. And I really hope that we get to see her in a TV series coming up.
So that I have a question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
How do you guys feel now that we're seeing these characters go, not just with Clone Wars now, but with Rebels into what's coming? Obviously Ahsoka has already been put into live action. Now we've had Bo-Katan, but of course we keep hearing rumors, Sabine's coming. We keep hearing about Thrawn and Ezra. And I truly believe we're going to get Hera. I really believe it's coming.
I think if I'm not mistaken, did they not already cast Sabine?
I think they did.
And Ezra.
Yeah. So we know they're coming, but just where or when?
Well, I guess the when is when we find out when it happens, which is kind of exciting. But I'm just curious, how you guys all feel about seeing these characters come to life. I mean,
I think it's awesome.
For me personally, I'm a bit conflicted about it, just because, especially having watched the Book of Boba Fett, where Boba Fett was sort of the side character in his own show. I'm worried that the Ahsoka series and Sabine and Ezra being there, when they themselves are also characters who have grown to be, their own characters, I'm afraid that they're going to get lost in the Ahsoka-ness of the show. But this is all speculation. We really don't know what they're going to do with them. I'm hoping for the best in terms of, hopefully that they capture, whoever's portraying them, capture the personalities of those characters. But I do hope that we get to see their time, like for Sabine on Lothal. I hope we get to see that either in a book or in a comic or in an animated show. And same for Ezra and Thrawn's journey. Like, I don't know how much of that we're going to get in the Ahsoka series. So I'm hoping that we'll also get that somewhere down the line. As an animated series would be great. But yeah, there's so many, different feelings floating in my head. But I am happy that they're being included. I mean, that's just amazing. So that in and of itself, I'm super happy about.
Okay, few points. First, I want to respond to something in the chat. Used and abused. He wants to see Chopper in live action. We already have, actually. He showed up toward the end of Rogue One. And albeit very brief, we still did get to see him. So that's cool. Second, I agree with you to a certain extent, Johna, but I think about them possibly getting lost in the Ahsoka series. My theory is that the Ahsoka series is an Ahsoka series in name only. And that we're really getting a Rebels live action show.
I wish they would call it that instead of calling it Ahsoka and making you think that it's going to be about Ahsoka.
I agree.
I agree with me.
DJ has something to say.
So, yes. And yes.
The other way.
Honestly, what I really think is going on here is I think we have some Kevin Feige stuff going on, and amazing. We're going to be. I really do believe this, that we got Mandalorian that introduced us a little bit back to Boba Fett. Now, and it also introduced us to Ahsoka and brought Luke in, and we have Grogu. Then, now we're going to get an Ahsoka series that has a couple of other characters. Bo-Katan was in Mandalorian. I think we're going to get Ahsoka more. We'll get Sabine. We'll get Ezra. We'll get a little bit of Thrawn. I think they're setting up a big, massive movie where something is going to happen, and these people are going to have to come together to defeat
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Big bad.
Yeah, and it's not going to be Thrawn. It'll be something, probably something new that we wouldn't,
Admiral DJ.
Somehow Palpatine returned. And,
Again.
Yeah, again, which would be fine by me. I would stand up and cheer. Bring back Mr. Ian and bring wheel him out in a chair if you need to. Let's get more Palpatine.
Oh man, that would be awesome. Joker voice said his thought for who the big bad could be.
Oh yeah, that would be neat.
That would be so awesome to see them in live action.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're getting. I think we're getting all these little pieces. We're getting all this little, and it's all going to set up, and it's going to lead to something. Just like we had with Iron Man and Thor and Hulk, and you get all these stories, and some of them have repeat characters, such as Black Widow or whatever. I think we're going to get something that's happening, and although we haven't seen it yet, but if you think back to Phase 1, they didn't reveal Thanos yet.
Yeah,
that didn't start till the end of Phase 2 that you started getting glimpses.
And Jon Favreau was already involved at that point. So it makes I see what you're saying. Your theory makes sense. It is very plausible.
And this big epic this big epic movie has to be directed by Jon Favreau.
Or Filoni.
Or
Bryce
Bryce.
Dallas Howard.
Yes.
That would
And
work
I
too.
know.
Anyway,
A quick Boba Fett, though, one more thing, because you just said it with Ahsoka. Why don't they just call it Rebels? That's what we just started saying towards the end of Book of Boba Fett. Why didn't they just call it this or this? The Mandalorians, the Chronicles, the Tales, and make it more of a different type of umbrella, because then nobody could actually, dare I say it, complain. There's always going to be a complainer, people, but
Nobody's going to complain.
I think it would have changed everyone's perspectives.
But I do like what DJ was saying about how that Sabine and Ezra, appearing in Ahsoka's show could eventually lead into their own shows, which then they could be the focus of their own series.
Yeah. Okay, so back to characters.
Back to characters.
Okay, so Sabine was my favorite of the Ghost Crew.
Oh
yeah. Nicole said that either Hondo or Thrawn would be my favorite non-ghost. So Hondo would, but
don't you Doctor Strange me.
No.
Go ahead.
Because he's not an original Rebels character, I don't want to count him. He is great, and Hondo is amazing. But also, it is not Thrawn. Thrawn is also very amazing and a great addition to Rebels.
Interesting.
But
I need to point my eyebrow.
You need to do what Ezra's doing on his.
But I'm battling back and forth between two of them.
Hondo.
Trying to decide which one. No, completely different than either one of those. I've got two others that I'm thinking of, and I can't think of which one I like better. Let's just say it's a tie between Agent Kallus and Bendu.
Oh, Bendu.
Bendu is just weird and mysterious and amazing, and voice casted by Tom Baker, who did it just so well. He was made for that role.
Not fair.
I just got told Doctor Strange wanted this.
What's not fair?
You just did a Nicole. You picked two.
Oh, he did. Not only did he do a Doctor Strange and WandaVision on my part, but he did pull a me. Are you my clone?
No. Joker, that's what I just said. Tom Baker.
But it's true because I was tight.
If I would have known that we could have picked two, I mean.
Well, technically.
You see what I got to put up with? You see that?
This is what they have to put up with, John. Not only am I undecisive like Nicole, I'm also easily distracted, so we get off onto these random tangents. Of course, that's also kind of Nicole's fault, too.
I love rabbit holes. Hey, that got us a lot of good predictions correctly, if I'm correct.
It really did. So I just noticed that Chantel is not in the chat tonight, and then I remembered why. She is watching the Batman tonight.
Yeah.
We're not even going to talk about that.
Which I will be watching tomorrow night.
I'm not watching until Thursday, but we were just talking about bunny rabbits here. Back to the story. Back to Rebels.
Back to Rebels.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Okay. So Johna, what sort of things do you typically do on social media, and if outside social media, on March 5th?
Yeah. So March 5th, I will be posting, I guess you can call them prompts, just sort of like questions to ask people and get the conversation going throughout the day. So I've got, favorite Kanan moments, favorite Ezra moments, and so on and so forth. What's it? I also like to explore the tag itself just to see what people are doing, interacting with them, find new people to to chat with about the show, retweet people's art because I really love the fan art that gets put out on March 5th. I also like to have Rebels playing in the background. I mean, that's the perfect thing for that day, and just play some of my favorite episodes. So that's definitely what I plan on doing this year. Hopefully because this is the 4th year, so next year for the 5th year, I really want to ramp it up and maybe just reach out to some of the cast and crew and ask them how their memories for Rebels Remember Day. So we'll see how that goes though.
So okay, I remember when you and I met at Celebration. I was going to ask, did you go to the Rebels panel?
That was Celebration Chicago, right?
Right.
Oh gosh, yeah, it feels so long ago now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I did go to that Rebels panel. Yeah.
What do you have any memories from that panel?
Gosh, there was a few things that really stood out to me, like when Dave Filoni started talking about Kanan, and he had on the screen these storyboards from the final episodes, and some of the storyboards were blurred out, or like the dialogue was blurred out, and I thought, man, why would they do that to us? The show just ended. Just tell us what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember I like spent hours trying to analyze those images. And I don't know what it was they had originally planned, but I like to think that maybe they had more for Kanan in terms of his story. Like that he himself was from Lothal is a fan theory that's out there that sprung out of those final episodes in that panel. And other people like to theorize that he himself was from a different point in time because of the World Between Worlds, because you have that mural that's in the cave. That's, there's 3 Jedi, Yoda, Mace Windu, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, who are like surrounding this little baby, and we don't know who that baby is. Maybe it's Anakin or Kanan, and it's just, there's a lot of conversation out there about what this could possibly mean, and we never got the answers to them.
Well, we know the baby is not Grogu, at least.
Yes, it's not.
I have to agree with you though on Kanan, because when you think about it, with him and Hera, she had a baby at the end. Like when she leaves, there is a child there. I always felt like maybe there should have been like 1 to 2 more episodes to go, or at least to kind of give us a little bit more time to kind of go, wait a minute.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Are we going to get him in the Ahsoka series?
I didn't say which one. I said, I think we'll eventually see Hera. I don't know how. I just feel like these days there's something to me that we might see her again. And I think it is possible that we might see their son, because he could still be possibly there, because they have yet to ever do a character on him other than, oh, look, there's a child.
Right. Yeah. There's so much potential there, and create a story from that.
He can be friends with Grogu.
Exactly. So I think we might still see stuff. I think that's a possibility. I don't think she's done yet. And I think it's still possible that we could still see baby.
Yeah,
child. Youngling or whatever. So
yeah, my schedule at Celebration got all screwed up, and I missed that panel. I was so angry.
Oh, that stinks.
There was something else going on, and I was like, I didn't remember that the Rebels panel had started until it was like nearly done, and I was like, But somebody there, and I don't remember who it was, gave me a poster from that panel, because they were giving out posters at the panel. somebody had given me a poster from it, so that was cool. But yeah, I missed it. I was not happy about that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the poster was what eventually became the cover of the art of Star Wars Rebels, which is the mural of the Ghost Crew. But it was slightly different because I think it was drawn by, oh my gosh, I can't remember whether it was Keith Kellogg or someone else. Hopefully I got the right person to credit there. But yeah, that was the poster that they handed out, that panel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you going to Celebration this year?
I wish. That was the plan. I wanted to go 2020. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out because, of all the stuff worldwide. But this year I wanted to as well, but unfortunately it's just not in the cards. So I'll be watching from home. Hopefully they'll have some good coverage and, live streaming options available. Although I highly doubt they'll include the clips or whatever they plan on showing us. So I'm going to be like in pain as I watch from my couch. But I won't be going. But I do wish everyone a safe and fun time because it's always such a blast going to Celebration.
Yeah, the one in Chicago is the only one I've ever been to, but I won't be able to make this one in Anaheim either. I will be at ScarifCon though, so that'll be fun.
C2E2 in Chicago's in August too. Just putting that out there. So if you want to come back down, you can come see me, come see Ro. You can come see, whoever from the Red 5, hang out.
I mean, I'm probably going to be down in the area more often than you think because the company that I work for now, I just changed jobs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the company that I work for, their offices are in Downers Grove. So I'm going to be down there fairly often.
Do you know how close you're going to, you're about, okay, I'm totally bunny. We're good. We're going on a money rabbit hole here, Zeb. But that's not about 20 minutes away, maybe 30. Wow. Okay. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Can we do the bunny hop? Maybe that needs to be like our show. Like a bathtub. Like a bunny rabbit instead.
Little bunny foo-foo, I don't want to see you open up the field.
So our offices are in Downers Grove, so I'm going to be there at least every couple of months. But yeah.
Fun.
So the whole background of what we're talking about here, Johna, is I'm actually moving to Michigan in a few months, and I'll be about 3 hours from Chicago. And I actually have family in the Chicago area, so it'll be nice to be close to them. So I'll be able to drive down and see them. And then we got a lot of Red 5 folks within driving distance.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be great. And then ScarifCon in July.
Not me. I'm not within driving distance.
Well, you need to move. You can join the compound.
That's all right. I almost feel at home here in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh.
I'm still waiting for my leader to take me away, but
I thought you were the leader.
So Bub is gonna take. There you go.
Yeah, Bub and number 4. I mean, but can you really count on Cam's clones?
No.
Probably not. Is there any other questions in the chat? Without me pulling it up.
While we're waiting for the questions, remember on March 5th, which is Saturday, we use the hashtag right there, Rebels Remembered, and keep track of that hashtag and get involved with Rebels Remembered. Oh, you know what, John? Why don't you tell us about your podcast?
Oh yeah, so my podcast, it's called the Geeky Bubble Podcast, and my mom and I started it off as Rebels Chat. And so that was what kicked off our journey into the podcasting world together. And we talked about Rebels for for its 4-season run. And yeah, my mom is she's the Yoda of the between the two of us. And I don't know who I am. I just bring the laughs. Really, I just. But yeah, she's always bringing such sage advice, and yeah, and we just talk about the animated show. So we also talked about Resistance, Bad Batch, which is what we're currently on. But we're just super excited for the second season, which we still don't know when it's going to premiere. So here's hoping we'll find out soon, so that way we can get back into the behind the microphone.
Awesome. I have a quick question for each of you guys, and starting with Johanna. What was one of your guys' favorite arcs throughout the Rebel series? I mean, there's many great arcs. And y'all heard mine already, which was with Ahsoka and Anakin. So I'm just curious for you guys, your guys' favorite arc that really like made you cry or really pulled your heartstrings. Johanna, who's first?
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. I was waiting for somebody. I just figured I'd raise my hand, and when it was my turn, someone would call on me.
Well, instead of going with Ezra, since I've already stated he's my favorite, I'm gonna go with Kanan. I thought Kanan's arc was just, going from that little curious Padawan in the A New Dawn book, which he made a very brief appearance, and then going into hiding because of the purge, and then finding this kid to train and questioning himself, like, am I good enough? Can I do this? To then being a Jedi knighted by the Force, and like that was just a brilliant episode, Shroud of Darkness, where he's knighted by the Grand Inquisitor before he became the Grand Inquisitor, and then ultimately doing what Jedi do and protecting others and sacrificing yourself in the process. It's just, what a journey that was.
Amazing. Yes. Okay, I have to throw in a bunny hole real quick. I swear. But it's related to what she just said. I know. Okay, so you said Kanan and the Purge. Okay, the Purge is, we're talking about 66, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the Jedi. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Order 66.
Yes. Okay, y'all, take a moment and see what she just said. Kanan 66 will purge. At the same time that there's a wee little Grogu in the hiding. Okay, bunny hole over. That was that's my thought. I'm just throwing it out there. It's crazy, although I still think it's a cost new. That being said, hey, DJ or Steve, what's your guys' favorite arcs? I'm trying to behave myself on my bunny.
Okay, so even though, I'm a really huge Saw Gerrera fan, I would say that one, but I'm a bigger fan of Mandalorian culture, so I'd have to say the Mandalore arc.
I knew it! Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. I love when they get into the culture and stories of the Mandalores, and it focused on Sabine and her family, so
I have to agree. That's like my second, I think.
It was pretty amazing. I loved it.
Hey DJ, what's yours?
Mine is at the end of the series, and it is the World Between Worlds. And I'm going to read something really quick, and this pretty much encapsulates why. And Ezra says, "Here in this place, I can change things. I can stop Kanan from dying." And Ahsoka replies, "You don't know that." "Yes, I do. If I can change your fate, I can change his." Ezra, Kanan gave his life so that you can live. If he's taken out of this moment, you all die. You don't understand what you're asking me to do. Yes, I do. You can't save your master, and I can't save mine. I'm asking you to let go. That right there, drop the mic.
Make us cry.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Man, DJ.
And I'm just, talk about, and there were so many great arcs that were in this series, but to bring that emotion in, and I'm not normally, well, I guess I am kind of an emotional person, but not when it comes to things I watch on TV. It doesn't really, I mean, yeah, all right, yeah, that was good. Okay, yeah, that was, that was good. I mean, I enjoy Star Wars, not necessarily for the way it's written or the way that it brings out emotions in me, but for remembering things from, me and my mom watching it from when I was younger and fell in love with the series and just thought it was the coolest thing just for science fiction, not necessarily for the way that it made me feel. But when you have that scene, it just like, wow. And then there's so many possibilities with the world between worlds. And words can't describe. So
I know now you're making us almost all cry. Thanks.
That's that's it. That's it for me. I love the series. In fact, now I'm going to, I have so much, not necessarily downtime, but computer time at work now that I normally have something playing in the background. I'm going to start watching or start listening to Rebels as I'm drawing away at my computer. So yeah.
Cool. Google. All right. Well, so like I said, everybody on March 5th, make sure you hashtag Rebels Remembered. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow Johna at Blue Jay Guys and follow her adventures with Rebels and her Geeky Bubble podcast.
Yeah.
So we have a poll that was done on Twitter, and DJ and I were talking about it earlier because we were looking at the results. And I was looking at the results and I was telling them. So, has nothing to do with Rebels, which I did not time that very well. But we had already done a Rebels poll. I didn't want to do another one. Mostly because I couldn't think of another one. So the poll was, which movie was your favorite from the prequel trilogy? So before I announce the results, let's go around the table here and tell me what your favorite one was. Johna?
I know people default to Revenge of the Sith, but I'm gonna go with The Phantom Menace. I really love that movie. The whole Darth Maul thing, and I years ago I would have said Attack of the Clones, but yeah, over the years I've just grown to love The Phantom Menace just more and more.
Nicole?
Well, on any given day, it could be either Phantom Menace or Clone or the next one. Depends on how I'm feeling, what mood I'm in.
I hear you.
I like them both.
There were three. There were three of them.
There were three.
There are three.
It's a tie. Never mind. It's a trio.
It's a tie between all three. Okay. DJ.
Depending on the day, there's reasons. I have to admit though, I like because of the Maul. That is a big pull for the first one. Maul he's amazing. He's so cool. He's great. I mean, shoot, the cover that I picked for Phantom Menace has got Maul's face on it.
All right.
So,
he was a cool looking character.
He
lasted about 5 minutes more than Boba Fett did, and so
until he showed up later in Rebels. Hey, look at that!
But yeah, But how can you pick against the rise of Darth Sidious? I mean,
I can't. I told you it could be any one on any given.
The rise of the Emperor in the exaltation of a fully formed Darth Vader. Revenge of the Sith is heads and shoulders in legs and arms, I guess, since he was just basically a torso. That's the one I would pick.
No love for Attack of the Clones. No love for Jango Fett.
I love
getting his head chopped off.
No, not that part.
And you've heard my rankings. In my very last ranked Star Wars film of all is Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, my favorite of the three is Revenge of the Sith too. So on to the poll. Which was your favorite from the prequel trilogy? It really wasn't much of a contest, to be honest. I will say that dead last, with less than 6% of the vote, was Attack of the Clones.
Last. Oh,
yeah. But last, dead last.
Oh, dead
of
last.
The three.
Okay.
But it's weird because for all the reasons people don't like it, I go, yeah, but he was a teenager and he didn't have like a dad there to teach him to not be awkward. I want to see you all, like, if you didn't have it, no. So okay. I can understand why he did what he did at that character.
But with 75% of the vote, Revenge of the Sith is the winner.
Oh, look at Grogu hanging out. He better be near the Sith.
Oh boy. All right, well, Johna, I want to thank you for coming on the show and talking about Rebels with us today.
Yes, thank you so much for spreading the word, letting people know about it. And just a reminder, you don't really have to create anything to participate. Just like a simple tweet of your favorite episode would do. And yeah, that just gets the conversation going.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Wonderful. We can do that. Yes. There are more of us in the Red 5.
That's right.
Get that sucker going.
Get that hashtag going. All right. Thanks, everybody in the chat for joining us and hanging out with us tonight. Make sure that if you are watching this on YouTube, you subscribe, and also subscribe, and then also like. Yeah. And then also subscribe. But thank you for watching and listening. And next week, we will be talking about, we are going to be kicking off a series, but not a how would we describe it? Because it's not going to be like
we have one episode on the in-between.
Yeah.
Then we continue the series.
So they're not going to be consecutive weeks, but we're going to do a series on Batman. So we're going to be kicking that off next week. Hopefully, most of us will have watched the movie by then. But also, we have a surprise special guest that will be joining us next week to talk to us about Batman.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
It might be. We don't know. We'll find out next week.
Supreme Chancellor Bob. I know him.
It could be. It could be. We'll see. But everybody, thanks for tuning in. And again, Johna, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you check out her podcast. And have a great week. And as always, may the Force be with you.